What if we told you that somewhere in Pennsylvania there is a garden bed that has not been touched by a tiller in over 40 years, and the soil looks like dark chocolate cake? No chemicals, no expensive tools, just rich, crumbly, weed-free earth that keeps getting better every single year. So why are the rest of us still losing the same battle every spring? Here is something that most of us never stop to question. Every spring, we pull out the rototiller, churn up the soil, and feel good about it. It looks fresh. It looks clean. It feels like a new beginning. But what we are actually doing is setting ourselves up to lose. Researchers at Michigan State University found something that genuinely changes the way we think about soil. In just 1 square foot of garden ground, there can be anywhere from 56 to nearly 15,000 viable weed seeds sitting dormant underneath. These seeds are incredibly patient. Some of them can wait underground for 20 years without dying. All they need is one brief flash of sunlight to wake up and start growing. And every single time we run a tiller through our garden, we are literally reaching into that underground vault and handing those seeds exactly what they have been waiting for. We think we are starting fresh. We are actually starting a weed explosion. But the damage goes even deeper than that. Underground, there is an entire living city operating beneath our feet. Billions of bacteria, fungi, and tiny organisms all working together to feed our plants naturally. The most important of these are fungal networks that connect directly to plant roots and help them pull water and nutrients from deep in the soil. Scientists call them mycorrhizal fungi, and they also produce a natural glue that keeps soil loose, spongy, and full of air. When we till, we destroy all of it. By midsummer, that bed that looked so perfect in April has baked into something closer to concrete. The cardboard revolution. So what do the Amish do instead? They look at the forest floor. In any undisturbed forest, the ground is never bare. There is always a thick blanket of fallen leaves, bark, and organic matter slowly breaking down on top. That blanket smothers weeds, feeds the soil, and holds moisture in. Nature built this system over millions of years, and it works flawlessly. The Amish copy it using something we throw in the recycling bin every week, plain corrugated cardboard. The process is almost shockingly simple. We lay overlapping sheets of cardboard directly on top of existing weeds and grass, no digging required. The edges need to overlap by at least 4 to 6 inches because weeds will find any gap and push right through. The cardboard blocks every drop of sunlight reaching the soil, which keeps all those buried weed seeds in the dark where they cannot germinate. But here's what makes cardboard genuinely special compared to plastic landscape fabric. As it sits in the damp soil, it becomes a magnet for earthworms. They tunnel through it, aerate the ground for free, and leave behind natural fertilizer that is more nutrient-rich than almost anything we could buy. Within 4 to 6 months, the cardboard disappears completely into the earth. The plastic fabric we buy at garden centers? That stays forever, slowly suffocating everything underneath it. On top of the cardboard, we add compost and a thick layer of straw or wood chips. We can even plant transplants the same day by cutting a small opening in the cardboard and setting the plant directly into the soil below. The weed trap most gardeners never use. One of the cleverest tricks in this whole system is something called the stale seedbed. We prepare the bed perfectly, water it well, and then walk away without planting anything. Within a week, thousands of dormant weed seeds near the surface sense the moisture and sprout. And right at that moment, before they build any root system at all, we take a sharp hoe and lightly scrape just the top half-inch of soil. The entire generation of weeds disappears in 5 minutes. Doing this twice before planting can cut weed growth in that bed by up to 70% for the entire growing season. We invited the weeds to show up early, and then we shut the door on them. The living ground cover working while you sleep. Between crop rows, the Amish plant white Dutch clover as a living ground cover. It crowds out weeds naturally, pulls free nitrogen from the air, and feeds it directly into the soil and attracts pollinators that dramatically improve harvests. And perhaps the most surprising part, researchers at Cornell University found that ground beetles living in straw mulch and cover crops emerge at night and consume up to 65% of weed seeds sitting on the soil surface. While we sleep, a quiet army is out there doing the work for us. When we put all of this together, something shifts. Gardening stops feeling like a fight and starts feeling like a partnership. The Amish never bought into the idea that soil needs to be conquered. They worked with it instead, and their gardens proved them right for generations. Now, modern science is confirming exactly what they always knew. The soil already knows what to do. We just need to stop getting in the way.